Hey yo everyone, I am Ekin, and this is the next episode in the infection-free zone playthrough. So let's get to it. Yeah, like I said in a previous episode, some of these issues, this I can kind of not pay that much attention, even though it doesn't fucking make sense. I know that is like the locations where the people that died. Yeah, where the location where the people died and then eventually disappeared, but still. There's no reason for those to still staying there. But as I said in other areas of the game, there's like no reason for some of the issues to be happening. Makes no fucking sense. It literally makes no fucking sense. And as I said, if I was a little bit more passionate about this game, I would just say, well, you know what, fucking, I'm gonna do my own with drugs and hookers. With whiskey and hookers, or drugs and hookers? With whiskey and hookers. Like literally, whiskey and then having a place for hookers. You gotta appease the population, you know? So it's needed in these days, like being I mean, sure, you could say that, oh no, don't say hookers, because it's like pejorative. Yeah, sure. Playing a woman of the sexual arts, or as people say, sexual worker, which that's weird. That's a very weird description, because it implies that like workers can be sexual or whatever the fuck. It's just it's a weird thing. I'm quite sure that eventually it will come, like, for example, 10 years or 20 years from now, maybe even less, there will be a point where people just go, oh, I don't know, like, what the older people were thinking, calling then sexual workers. It should be such and such, as they do every, like, 2 or 3 years. People are fucking always... people are always, oh, we have a bunch of vaccines now. Maybe we can diminish the amount of people in here. Let's place... I was wondering why the fuck did it just like lag a lot, but it is because like the people need to go out from here, innit? Yep. It's just spawned a bunch of fucking citizens out of fucking nowhere. Which, now that I think about it, why? Why is it despawning the... That is, it goes back to the thing that I said in the... I know why it is despawning. I fucking know why it is despawning the survivors when they are inside buildings. It makes complete fucking sense. It is because the data for the survivors, it is kind of separate. Or it could... No, it's not separate. It is, for example, this little dude in here. He has the data for his own existence. Like, he has the amount of HP that he has. This, like, literal modeling here, the literal object for this guy. Because it's very likely that the developers behind the game are using OOP, which is object-oriented programming. And if you know programming, you know what I'm talking about. But if you don't, it might be a little bit more complex. And 25 should be enough, I guess. And we can place the rest of the people in here, maybe? Question mark? Although there's a very small amount of here. This one is done. Let's go towards this one then. Fuck this, it has been in my vision for a long time, and it keeps like blocking my sights. Which is like ironic when you stop and think about it. We just go and look at a very big high-rise building like this, and then the sheesh, 2,000 workers. I think it is because of the size of the building, the area. But see, you can place 2,000 workers in here, but the amount of resources that you get is limited by the amount that could be in this one, for example. It only takes 353. But the amount of bricks is the same. Make it make sense. I mean, I understand why it makes sense, because it's capped, because before it wasn't. I recall, back in the day, it wasn't capped. You could, like, for example, a single building of this one, you could, like, build the entirety of this base, because it makes sense. Look at the size of this fucking thing. You could, like, build, like, all of these walls with just, like, the materials in this, and just still have enough materials to build another building. So, yeah, it's always, like, some of the developers trying to balance the game. And because, oh, it's not right, so the players are playing in the way that we made it so that it could be played. We need to remove it. A developer that is guilty of doing that non-stop is the developer for Ring World and the developers for 7 Days to Die, which is like, I forgot the name, it's Fun Pimps or something like that. Something Pimps, I don't recall the full name. The wood was over, isn't it? Almost. Where is the other? What? Where is the assigned location for these? I don't see any blues around. Oh, I think it's over, but it is still this one, because it is like the people going around and like the storing the wood. So yeah, there's a category of developers that don't like their players to have fun. And then just go, well, oh no, but you're not playing in the intended way. And just like, what is the intended way? Isn't like the game made for you to have fun? I need to place more people in here. The amount of people in here is fucking me up. Because it's not producing as much grains as needed, and at the same time it is consuming too much. And there is no, as far as I know, shortcuts to place these guys faster. Let me just place the thingy faster, closing here so that I can move less. Let's do it. Yeah, let's do it. Look, all of these fucking things have only one person. Why doesn't this have priority? Why doesn't the buildings with less workers have priority over placements when you place through this menu in here? That makes no fucking sense. Oh man, it's just it is fucking weird. I don't get it. I do get it, but I don't understand why. I mean, I kind of do understand why, but I don't get it at the same time. You get the point, I think. Ugh. Gotta be placing all of them, and then if there's like more EU people, it is going to happen that these guys are going to move again, and not going to have like enough people in here, and they're just gonna have this same fucking issue all over again. I tell you, this game is a major babysitting simulator. So yeah, like I was saying before, this guy, this object by itself, he stores the information for whatever the fuck it is in, and then when he despawns, that information is placed somewhere else in another array for like a survivor. I don't like how they pass through here, even though I know that this is closed, because it's not open. It is indeed closed. Oh, if I recall correctly, they are passing through. Although it is possible that it isn't closed. No, it is. Even if it was closed, there is like 2 placements in there. Like for example, in here, it's closed. Let's see. No, there's only 1 placement. Is it really open here? If it is, like that is, I blame the. Yeah, I can't connect to the other part. So, oh, I kinda can. No, I can, but I can't. There's not enough size. Yeah, let's presume that this is closed. And we're going to place a second row. It's going to mitigate the issue eventually, if there is an issue or not. But yeah, for example, the best methods for this to be done, you have a very big list of all the survivors. Every single time that a survivor is added or removed, you add it to that list, and then you keep that list with all of the values for each and every survivor. And then at the list, you also have a thingy that shows up. Is this player spawned or not? Is he out into the world, or is he maybe inside the building? And if he, possibly with 3 values, one that is like spawned, no, not spawned, free, available to be spawned, and for example would be someone inside one of the houses, and one that is spawned and just like walking around and doing whatever the fuck, and another one that tells that he's inside the building, and then if you need to look, you can see like which building they are. And then whenever you need to spawn another one of those, you look into the list and see, is this fucker free? If he is, you just like create the object for the... You don't even create the object for the survivor. You have a list of objects for the survivors, like temporary ones. For example, when a survivor enters a building, it removes the object for that survivor. Like the slowness, the slowdown in here is because of that exactly happening. They created the infected objects to start, and as they are created, it slows down the fucking thing. So you will have a temporary list that you assigned every single time that... Goddamn, these guys are standing still, innit? I need to be careful, because these guys could be in the route of a storm. So every single time that you despawn one of the objects, one of the graphical representations of the survivors, you place them in a temporary list. And whenever you need another like graphical representation of survivor, you grab from that list and you place it back in the world. You just like place the data from the survivor back inside of it. And then you keep doing that over and over again. Just keep rotating, doing a rotation of the things. In that manner, you don't need to spawn every single time, you don't need to spawn the survivors. Eventually you need to, like, for example, there is like most of the people inside the guard towers, they don't exactly need to have their the objects accounted for in a temporary queue, because most of the time they're not going to go out of the building. They're going to be like inside of the towers. So for example, let's say that we have 794 citizens. The maximum queue for the people outside could be around the temporary queue, could be around half of this, and then half minus the amount of the guards. So you would have a very small queue of temporary objects that could be outside at all times. And that would be, for example, the scavengers. I'm quite sure that this will go 400 minus around 100 goes around 300 people, and the amount of scavenger people, which are the ones that are outside, is less than 300. See how it just matches perfectly? It would still have around 80 people, 80... Like in every single time that they go inside, see how there is a considerable slowdown? Sure, it could be said, oh, it is an issue. This whole slowdown is possibly because it is like both things. Both things, the infected being spawned, their objects being spawned when they move out of the buildings that they were hidden inside, and also the pet finding. Because I'm quite sure that the pet finding is just like taking into consideration all of them and then colliding one with the other and just fucking things up. At this size, I don't think that you should take into consideration that each of the infected hordes could collide with each other. There's no need to check if they can collide or not, because they mesh in like in between. Since they are composed of a bunch of people, even if one of them crosses in the middle of the other one, that doesn't matter. You most of the time you won't be able to see it. So there is no need to check for... This is going to be a problematic one. It's very likely that I'm going to build the truck guys back here, because this is going to be a problem. This is way too many at once. I could do the same thing again, going like moving them backwards and trying to remove some of them. If they keep most of the numbers at the gates, it would be fine, but most of them seem to be in here. And this wall is going down fast. Yep, they're way too much inside. We're gonna have to get out. And even the guys with the trucks are going to be placed around a little bit far away. Go out before those fuckers come close to you. Oh, there's way too many guys inside of it. This squad might die. If this building goes down. Because if the building stays up, it is fine. But if this building goes down, we're fucked. Maybe trying to bait them around could work a little bit. Sheesh, look at the amount of... That's why I need double walls in here. And weirdly, most of the time it seems that they're attacking through here. These guys managed to get out somehow. Yeah, we lost buildings. It's mostly walls. I don't give a shit. We could just go around and destroy them using the cars. The problem is that it damages the car as we do so. Yeah, I know, they're pillaging buildings. It leaves them susceptible to attacks. Where are you shooting at? Oh, the rifles at the Alpha. And look at that! Look at the nonsense. The towers are standing, the gates are standing, the walls are down. Wouldn't, like, from all of these, I understand the gate having more health. I don't understand though the towers having more health. Because sure, it is cylindrical, we could be said that, oh, there are certain engineering solutions that you can make so that cylindrical objects are stronger and whatever the fuck, sure. But the walls? Are you saying that they built the walls weaker than the towers? I mean, think about it. The walls exist so that they wouldn't reach the towers. How the fuck is the tower stronger than the walls? Can I place the towers outside the walls then? If I do place the towers outside walls, now that I think about it, if the towers are indeed stronger than the walls, if I place the towers outside the walls are going to protect the walls and prevent these things from breaking. It makes no fucking sense. The walls should be stronger and the towers weaker. The towers, for example, it should be in a manner that if a wall falls, it is very likely that the tower is going to fall afterwards, because the tower is the meaty part of the thing. It is literally the part where there is humans inside, and the walls not as much. Although I still don't understand why the fuck they don't allow me to place people on top of the walls. It would make like things way easier, like having the ability to patrol around the walls. The walls would have need. I mean, I understand why it would be impossible to place people on top of the palisades, on top of the fences. It would be fucking weird if there was a person on top of a fence and on top of the brick walls as well. It would be weird. But on top of the fortified walls? Are you saying that a person can walk on top of the thing that is built in prisons? Doesn't make sense. It doesn't make sense at all. It would be reasonable if you could place a palisade or a fence, and then behind you build a thingy, so that I forgot the name of it, a thingy so that the soldiers can stay behind the wall and can still shoot over it while not standing on top of the wall, so that you use the fortified wall to have considerable amount of more resources used to the amount that it would be a little bit more than the brick wall and the thingy that you place behind combined, so that there is like the benefits of it being stronger and the benefit of having it included, the ability to go on top of it included in the wall itself. Why the fuck isn't like that? Don't know. Will it eventually be like that? Maybe. But I don't think that they're going to do that. I think this sort of a capability is going to show up in this game via mods. I'm quite sure that that's how this is going to be implemented. Because in other videos, I usually said that I could... I think I said that before as well in another video, where I discovered that. I said that I understood why it could be that the game has these oversights onto it, because of the developers being new or whatever, this being their first game or such and such. The thing I didn't know is the fact that this is not the first game. These developers, as I said in another video, are the developers behind, what is the name? The 911 operator game. That explains why this exists. They already have the means to produce like buildings and physical thingies from this technology. Although this is not as hard to implement, it's very fucking easy. There's like some simple APIs that allow you to do this. The difference is that they already have one done. It's like completely done. They just like need to just make it to spawn 3D builds on top of it, which is like very fucking easy to make. Because I'm quite sure that this thing in here is not provided as a painted thing. It is provided as a I forgot the name. It's not a geometry. It's provided as geometry. There's like points from here to here to here to here to here, and then just connecting all of those. And then you just like bring up. It's literally a matter of like bringing up the points from the bottom down, and then you create the buildings procedurally. It's very fucking easy. I did some things like that to create like buildings from points like a long time ago. It's not that complicated. But then, since they are the people behind the 911 operator, they decided, well, let's just put zombies into it and then just create a thingy. I'm quite sure that it was born as a similar game. I think it is Safe House Diaries, which has something similar to this, if I recall correctly. And then, but it was only on this kind of map. And then I think they thought about doing that, they possibly saw that one and just thought, yeah, you know, let's do it in full 3D, fucking. It's gonna be different and like it's gonna have some appeal on top of that. And then that's what we have. But then they are not like new developers. They published games before. It could be said that they're still indie, sure. It's like reasonable to say, but they shouldn't be like have the oversize that they had in this game, even if it is in early access. Because that indicates a problem. If some of these issues are happening while it is early access, it means that the foundation for the game is fucked. It means that they will have to change a lot of things in the future in order to make these things work. And like to work like properly. For example, the same thing that I said with the walls being able to have people on top of them. I think they're going to, since they don't have like things that could be walked on top of it, they will have to implement that from the ground up. And it could be that by doing that, it clashes with some other style of buildings, and then it'll have to change those things as well. And when they change those things, it is going to introduce some other issues in some other places, and then keep going and then compounds, and there's just like shit piled up on top of shits. And then that's how you get spaghetti programming. That's what happens. Oh boy. Oh, finally this fucking thing is destroyed. Although the fucking border is still visible. Why is the border for this one not visible when this one is? See, another fucking graphical issue. It could be said, oh, but this one's being worked on, this one's being worked on, and this one isn't. Well, this one is. So, explain. Breeze, explain. Makes sense. I need to fucking make a game. And that's it for now. Thank you for watching, and I see you next time.